Okay, the fx is 4x cubed plus px squared plus 5x plus 2. Given that x minus 1 is a factor of fx, find the value of p. So the part 1, right, is using the factor theorem. Factor theorem means that if they tell me that x minus 1 is a factor, that means the remainder is 0. So this first line give me the information that when I sub f1, sub 1, it will give me 0 remainder. So why is it sub 1? Because x minus 1. So at the side, you can actually do x minus 1 equals to 0. The working is actually x equals to 1. Okay, so this working no need to show 1. I just do additional so that you know that you're supposed to sub 1 inside. So based on this, I actually can form equation. So I will say, oh, so f1 will be 4. Replace all the x to become 1. So 4, 1 cubed plus p1 squared plus 5, 1 plus 2. Okay, so I will get 4 plus p plus 5 plus 2. That will give me 11 plus p. This is the remainder, and we know that remainder is 0. So therefore, we will say 11 plus p equals to 0. So we get p equals to negative 11. We solve part 1. Okay, part 2. Using the value in p, which is p equals to negative 11, we are supposed to find the remainder when fx is divided by 2x minus 3. So this is easy. So what you do is, now my fx is complete with my p is minus 11. So now I'm going to sub in f3 over 2. So why do I sub 3 over 2 is because 2x minus 3 equals to 0, 2x equals to 3, x equals to 3 over 2. So I do f3 over 2. So same thing for 3 over 2 cubed minus 11. Now I will replace the p to become minus 11. Then this one will be 3 over 2 squared plus 5 plus 2. Okay, then I will get calculator for 1.5. Just to let you know, actually 3 over 2, sometimes when I key calculator, very troublesome, right? Because fraction difficult to press. So I'll just key 1.5 because I know it's the same value. So I just key 1.5 cubed minus 11, 1.5 square plus 5 plus 2. And I get minus 4.25. Okay, so that will be the remainder when it's divided by 2x minus 3. And that's the answer for part 2a. Next, they ask you to factorize fx completely. So fx, I can write out the full fx first. It will be 4x cubed minus 11p squared plus 5. What just now? Oh my God, I make a mistake. Did anyone spot the mistake or not? How? Anyone spot the mistake? I'm going to cry already. Can anyone spot the mistake or not? My God, this is only a... No, you can, where? Can type, where is my mistake? Cannot spot my mistake. First question, you are already sleeping. No, here, you see here? Do you notice here? This is supposed to be 5x, right? Then I'm supposed to replace x to become 3 over 2. But I forgot to put 5x. Because I copy from here, then I take it for granted it's plus 5 plus 2. So this one's supposed to be plus 5 bracket 3 over 2 because it's supposed to be plus 5x. Okay, so that means this is wrong. Alamak. 4, 1.5 to the power of 3 minus 11 bracket 1.5 square plus 5 bracket 1.5 plus 2. So this is minus 1.75. Done. Okay. Okay, let's move on. So this one is 5x because I want to write 5x. But then notice, why this one 5? Okay, plus 2. Or this one, I know what I mean. Or you are referring to this one. Okay, good. Also true. So it's like that. So minus 11x squared plus 5x plus 2. So this is my fx. You're supposed to factorize. The good news is, of course, calculator can factorize can solve cubic equation. So you can use calculator to find out the 3 roots. So go to the equation for the cubic. Key in the 4, negative 11, and 5 and 2. So calculator give me the roots is It gives me minus 1/4. It gives me 2. And it gives me 1. Okay, one thing I need to highlight, a lot of students, wow, they're very powerful one. Straight away, they press like that, they straight away go and put these 3 brackets. Because the calculator will give you the 3 answer, but you must understand, you see, this one, it's not just 1 mark. Sometimes 2 to 3 marks, you know. You think the teacher will give you the 3 marks when you just write like that? They obviously know that you press calculator, so you are not allowed to do that. So what you have to do is, this only tells you that yes, your answer will be that, but you still have to do the steps. So the first step is you have to guess what is the factor. So over here, the easier number is x minus 1, which actually previously they already tell us because x minus 1 is a factor, right? So in this case, I can just do 4x cubed minus 11x squared plus 5x plus 2. I just divided it by x minus 1. Okay. After that, we do the long division. Make sure you have all the terms, x cubed, x squared, x, and constant. If there is like, for example, if it's 4x cubed, let's say it doesn't have any terms of x squared, you must put z plus 0x squared, then plus 5x plus 2 before you divide. Even though there's no term for x squared, you have to put plus 0x squared. Okay, this is for your easier for you to do long division. For this case, there's no missing term, so don't need to put any 0. Same apply for this side. Make sure that you have all the terms. If you don't have the terms, then you put 0. This side, what do I mean by you have to put 0? Sometimes maybe they ask you to divide by x squared minus 1. Then you see that there's a missing term x also, right? So then you divided it by x squared plus 0x minus 1. You understand? Okay. So for this case, no need. Then let's just go. So divide by this one. What times x give me 4x cubed? It will be 4x squared. This one times this one is 4x cubed. This one times this one will be minus 4x squared. And then when you do long division, put minus and must put a bracket. Okay, don't be lazy to put a bracket. Why? Because with the bracket, minus, then you know that it's a plus. Okay, all these small little steps that you need to do is just to avoid careless mistake. So now I have 4x cubed minus 4x. Of course, the first one is definitely 0. Minus 11x squared plus 4x squared will be minus 7x squared. Bring down this will be plus 5x. So now what times x will give me? Negative 7x squared. So it will be minus 7x. So rainbow, I get minus 7x squared. And then this one, plus 7x. Again, put minus and a bracket. First term will definitely be 0. So 5x minus 7x will give me minus 2x. Bring this down, so it's plus 2. So now I have to multiply it by negative 2. Rainbow, I get minus 2x and I get plus 2. Take note now, over here you definitely have to get 0 because we already know that x minus 1 is a factor, right? And of course, if it's a factor, that means remainder is 0. If you don't get 0, that means somewhere is wrong with the long division. Then it's very important because if you don't get a 0, that means this is called a quadratic factor. Then your quadratic factor will get wrong. Then you cannot do already, right? So I know that now I factorize, I have a x minus 1. I can write this as 4x squared minus 7x minus 2. And this one, to factorize, you actually use the cross method. So put here, so this is 4x squared minus 2 minus 7x. Okay, play cheat. You see here, I know that this will be the next 2, right? So one of them will be 4. So I know this will be 4x and x. And since this is 1, so that means I know this is 1 and 2. And I know this is plus and minus. So I get this one is, no, this one is the other way around. It should be this one minus, this one plus. This is minus, this one plus. Why I know this one is minus is because here is minus. So I get minus 8x plus x. So this one is correct, this one is correct, this one is correct. So I come back to here, I know, oh, so I factorize this, I get x minus 1, I get 4x plus 1, and then I get x minus 2. So I'm done with factorizing. So fx factorize into the 3 bracket. That will be part B. Next, okay, they say hence. Okay, many students don't know how to do this part. Hence, solve the equation, blah, 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 blah. So this is always linked to this part. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm going to erase everything and let's see. Do I need it? Yeah, I can erase everything. So later, just remind me it's x plus 1, x minus 2. Okay. So now part C. Okay, you can see when you link to this one and this one, you see 4x cubed, this one 4 something cubed. So you know that actually they replace this with y minus 1. Suspect already, right? Then after that, this is minus 11. Then you say, this one how? So what you need to do is, we already know that. So for what I'm trying to do is, I always do like that. I write 4u cubed. Just now we already know this one is minus. So it's minus 11u squared plus 5u plus 2. I replace the x to become u. Okay, then I know that over here when you compare, my u is actually y minus 1. So I say u is equals to y minus 1. So with that, okay, over here, I will do 4, okay, y minus 1 cube plus, this one you will do this, follow here. Wait, yeah, minus 11, y minus 1 square. You follow here first. Then plus 5, y minus 1 square. No square, sorry. Then plus 2. Then the thing is, I want to make this one looks like here, and now this one is not the same as here yet. But after you massage a bit, it will look like it. Because this one is plus 5y minus 1. So let's open up this last part. I get plus 5y minus 5 and plus 2. So do you see that I get plus 5y and minus 3? So you see, it's exactly the same. So in other words, just like previously when you factorize, my fx, it was equals to x minus 1, 4x. Forget the number. Wait, key again. O people. 4 minus 11, 5. Okay, 4x plus 1 and x minus 2. So just now we have this one. And it means that it will be the same as u minus 1, 4u plus 1, and then u minus 2 equals to 0. You understand? Because we already proved that it's actually the same equation. It's just that we change the u to become y minus 1. So for solving this equation, you will know u is equals to 1, u equals to minus 1/4, u equals to 2. But please remember to pull back the y minus 1. So it's supposed to be y minus 1 equals to 1, y minus 1 equals to negative 1/4, and y minus 1 equals to 2. So you have y equals to 2, y equals to negative 1/4, negative 0.25 plus 1. So you get 0.75, and you have y equals to 3. So this is how you link this kind of hence question to the above question. You understand? So because if both all x are very confusing, so what I usually do is I change the same thing to other alphabet first. I change it to u. Then the in front, this part, y minus 1, already hint you that you know that u is represent y minus 1. So you just change this, replace all the u to become y minus 1, and just manipulate the behind to just double confirm that this is exactly the same as here, the equation that they asked you to do. Then after that, you solve, because previously you already factorize it, right? You only need to replace all the x to become u. Understand? Then when you solve this cubic equation, you get all this. Then remember to bring back your y minus 1. So just y minus 1, blah, blah, blah. Then this is will be the 3 answer. Okay? So that will be this question. Okay, next. Next will be an identity question. Okay, question 2a. They say given that the blah, blah, blah equals to this. Okay, you have 3 unknown, a, b, and c. Find the value of a, b, and c. So how are you going to solve this? For me is, I like to use sub-suitable values. Okay, of course, some students like to do long compare coefficient. But I don't like to do compare coefficient unless the right-hand side is very straightforward. Okay, the right-hand side got 3 brackets for me to rainbow. If I'm going to rainbow, and then compare coefficient, the chance of mistake is very high. So usually I don't like to use comparing coefficient. So what I'm going to do is, now let's take a look. Okay, what x value can I substitute in? You see, if I'm going to sub x equals to 1, do you agree this one becomes 0? And when this one becomes 0, 0 times this bracket means this whole thing become 0. So I only left with a c ma. When I sub x equals to 1, both my a and b disappear. And I can solve my c. So you will say sub x equals to 1. So I have 2, 1 cubed plus 5, 1 square minus 1 minus 2. This whole thing no need to write because you know it's 0. So I left with a c. In this case, I can straight away solve my c already. So it's 2 plus 5 minus 1 and minus 2. So I get 4. So it's c equals to 4. See, I solved my c. Next, let's sub in. Okay, yeah, I saw an ax. Good. Why ax is good? Because if now I'm going to sub x equals to 0, do you agree a times 0 means my a will disappear? So if my a disappear, that means I can safely solve my b. I don't have to worry about c because I already solved my c in the first place. So what I need to do is I'm going to sub x equals to 0 and c equals to 4. Yeah, Sam, I already pinned myself already. Okay. Over here, so sub x equals to 0 and c equals to 4. So after that, I will get 2, 0 cubed plus 5, 0 square minus 0 minus 2. This one not say the whole thing 0. It's supposed to be a times 0. So my a disappear, but I still have a 3. So over here, you have a 3, 0 plus b, 0 minus 1 plus 4. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, correct. So after that, 0, 0, 0. So this one left-hand side become negative 2. This one is negative 1. Negative 1 and 3 is minus 3. Minus 3. So it's minus 3b plus 4. So I have minus 3b equals to minus 6. I get b equals to 2. So you see, I solve my c and b. Once I'm done with b and c, that means I only left with one unknown a. So when you only left with one unknown a, it means that you can sub any x value. Okay, so usually I don't sub two big number. Since I already use 0 and 1, okay, I rather choose to sub 2 instead of negative 1. Because every time you want to try to sub negative, chance of careless mistake is very high. So I will sub 2. So now you're supposed to sub x equals to 2, b equals to 2, and your c equals to 4. So we have 2 cubed plus 5, 2 square. Okay, this one not obvious already. I need to go up and see. Minus x minus 2. So minus x minus 2 equals to, now come back here. So it's ax plus 3. Ax plus 3. Put bracket. X plus b. X plus b. X minus 1. X minus 1. Plus c plus 4. Okay, always double check that you got them correct, because if not, just a split second of checking, you can help you to check below. So over here, I'm going to press calculator. So it's 28 plus 54 minus 2 minus 2. So I get 32 over here. Okay, so this one is 2a plus 3. This is 4. This is 1. And this is plus 4. So this plus 4, I can bring it over. So it's 32 minus 4. So it's 28. This one I can rainbow. This is 4, right? Then 4 times this one will give me 8a. 4 times 3 will give me 12. So I get 8a equals to 28 minus 12. So 8a equals to 16. A equals to 2. Done. So you see, I solve my ABC. I have my a equals to 2, my b equals to 2, and my c equals to 4. Okay, so this is the working for the identity for 2a. Next. Wow, I tell you, A maths are difficult. 1 hour, I don't think I can finish so many questions. I should do as many questions as I can. Don't scared, don't panic. I'm still doing 2B. It's just that I have no space to do, so I erase first. Okay, 2B in fact is one of the questions that a lot of students will ask me because they have so many alphabet, then they lost already. Okay, first of all, you don't have to panic. Why? Because they already mentioned that they ask you to express P in terms of A, B, M, and N1. So it means that your answer will not be a whole number. You just use the concept of all the polynomial theorem and solve it accordingly. So given that x squared plus mx plus n and have the same remainder. So over here, actually, there's two expressions. They say it has the same remainder when divided by x plus p. Okay, so when there's two polynomials, I'm going to name them differently. So first, I will say let fx equals to x squared plus mx plus n. Okay, then I will let gx equals to x squared plus ax plus b. Okay, so fx and gx is just a name. Okay, you want to use hx la, dx la also can. It's just that every time you in school they teach starting is fx ma. So you need to know that when there's another polynomial in the same question, you have to give it a different name. Okay, so now fx is this one, gx is this one. They say it has the same remainder when divided by x plus p. So when divided by x plus p, what do we sub in? We are supposed to sub in minus p ma. So they're trying to tell me that when I sub f minus p, this one give me the remainder, right? Because numbers that we sub in, whatever they give me is the remainder. If you give you a 0, it simply means that the term is a factor. Okay, so this is the remainder. Then they tell you that when I sub to g, it also give me the remainder, and both remainder, it's the same. So okay, maybe I make it simple. It is equals to remainder. This is also equals to remainder. And since it has the same remainder, that's why I use the same to represent. And therefore, it means that f minus p is equals to g minus p. Agree? And of course, we're not done yet. This is only the so-called equation that we derive based on the information. Next is you have to find out what is f minus p. And when f minus p means you're going to replace all the x to become minus p. So let's take a look at over here. So it will be equals to bracket minus p squared plus m minus p plus n. So the tough part is, not say tough part, the complex part is there's so many alphabet there. So you have to focus to know that you are replacing the x to be minus p only. Any other alphabet you see, they are just the constant or the number. So double check, x squared means minus p squared plus mx plus n. So I will get negative to the power of even is positive. So it's p squared minus mp plus n. So this is the remainder. So, okay, just leave it in that form. Okay. Next is we have to find out what is my g minus p. So g minus p, same thing. You got to replace all the x, and this time around you are referring to the g. Another color. Okay, this one. So I will use minus p squared plus a minus p plus b. Only replace the x. So this one will be p squared minus p minus ap plus b. So now these and these are referring to the same remainder. So it means that we're going to say p squared minus mp plus n, this one is equal to this, p squared minus ap plus b. Okay, then we are not done yet. Let's see what they want, because they mentioned they want to make p the subject. Okay, so it means that I'm going to throw all the p to the left hand side, whatever that doesn't contain p to the right hand side. So I have p squared here minus mp here. This one I'm going to bring to the left. This one I'm going to bring to the left. B remain. This one I'm going to bring to the right. So it becomes this. Okay, p squared minus p squared disappear. So in fact, on the left hand side, I only left with ap minus mp. Then take out common factor p. A minus m equals to b minus n. Then p will be equals to b minus n over a minus m. You understand? So just to double check, they say p subject. Okay, I did it, and make sure that your right hand side doesn't have any p, and you're done. So that's for question 2b. Okay, of course, when you all come for the lesson and learn, so how you all should learn is, let's say for example, when I teach, of course, if you are fast enough, you all can write down the notes but if you're not fast enough to write down the notes, you can just listen first. Okay, and then after that, when let's say you see every time after I finish, I will actually zoom out for a while. You can actually use a handphone to take a snap. Okay, take a snap. Then after that, when end of the lesson, let's say tomorrow or whatsoever, you can take the time to try the question yourself. And then my screenshot, the photo that you snap, you can actually refer back and check your working. Okay, this is how you learn things. Okay, let's go to the next question. Alamak. Okay. Okay, the function fx has a factor of blah, blah, blah. Show that this is this. So students see this, they panic. Why? Because they usually see either x minus 2, right? Or like 3x minus 1. Then suddenly got one alphabet there. They panic, number 1. Then they ask you to say, show this one. What's that? Wow, who's that? Okay, then they see this, show that blah, blah, blah. Then they panic, number 2. Then how to do? Sometimes you see the question like that, you just based on polynomial concept and just try it first. Because while you do, they say, oh, it's just like that. Okay, so when I read this question, first thing is they say it's a factor of this. So when it's factor, remember what I need to sub in and just let this be 0. So I put 3x plus a equals to 0, 3x equals to minus a. So my x is equals to minus a over 3, my agree. So in other words, I need to sub minus a over 3 inside. And since it's a factor, so based on this first sentence, they tell me that f minus a over 3 is equals to 0. This is the information they give me. So usually I like to write given. This is the information. Then I work along this information. So let's find f minus a over 3. So I will get 54 minus a over 3, 4 minus 9 minus a over 3 cubed minus 6a squared. Remember, always remember, you're supposed to only replace x. You see this polynomial got mixed a inside. They try to confuse you. So you must know that you're only replacing the x. So minus 6a squared bracket minus a over 3 squared plus 7 negative a over 3 plus 2. Okay, very tough. So your indices must be very strong. Step by step, let's do it. 54 negative, this is even number, so it's end up positive. So I don't have to put a negative or positive. So put a to the power of 4, and then 3 to the power of 4 is 81 minus, this is 9, yeah, 9 longer tail. Okay, negative odd number, so it is still negative. A cubed, 3 to the power of 3, 27. Okay, minus 6a squared, negative even number, so it's positive. This is a squared over 9. This is nothing much, all right? Minus 7a over 3 plus 2. So now let's simplify. I will get 54 over 81a4 minus minus, so it's plus 9 over 27 left with 1/3. So actually this one become a cubed. Okay, I don't like to put it in the top. I will put it as 1/3 a cubed. This one it's minus, I will get a4, right? 6 over 9 is 2/3. So I will have minus 2/3 a4. I have minus 7 over 3a and plus 2. And if you take note, this and this is like terms. So I have to do 54 over 81 minus 2/3. So you see, these minus this is actually 0. So I end up don't have any a4. I only left with 1/3 a cubed minus 7 over 3a plus 2. So this is supposed to be my remainder. And they tell me that it is a factor, means my remainder is 0. Then you will say, oh, so therefore, 1/3 a cubed minus 7 over 3a plus 2 is equals to 0, because this is remainder and there's no remainder. So it's equals to 0. And when it's an equation, you can multiply any number throughout to make it flat. I see common denominator 3 here, so I'm going to times 3 throughout. So when I times 3 throughout, I get a cubed minus 7a plus 6 equals to 0. Now let's pray hard that is the one that asked me to prove, right? So it's a cubed minus 7a plus 6 equals to, yes, you see, I got it, we prove it. So you simply just say shown. Done. So you see, I've been using factor theorem only, nothing much. The only tough part is you just need to be very careful when you manipulate with negative and all this indices stuff. Okay. Okay, then they say part 2. Hence, find the possible values of a. So you're supposed to So you're supposed to solve A, right? So this is the equation already. So what do? Okay, I'm going to solve the equation using the calculator. My A cube is 1, so it's 1. You see, there's no A square, right? So take note when you key into the calculator, your B is 0. Key 0. Yeah, where's the 0? C is -7, and then 6. So my calculator show me -3, 2, and 1. So then you got to repeat the same thing again. This time round, you're going to you have to say let FA, because usually it's fx, right? Fx is because the expression is in terms of x. But this one now is in terms of A. So you say it's FA. So let FA equals to A cubed minus 7A plus 6. Then you got to do your, because I already know I'm going to use this one. So I will say try A minus 1. Then I say, okay, F1, when I sub it in, 1 cubed minus 7, 1 plus 6. I will get 0. Of course, you must get 0 because this is definitely can factorize one. Then you will say, okay, this is the part. Then you will say, oh, so therefore, A minus 1 is a factor of FA. And you have to say this is because it is factor theorem. Okay, I have students who don't write this statement. Okay, the school will minus mark because they will say, hey, how you know that this one is a factor? It's because of factor theorem. This one is a colon. Okay, so once you're done with this, then the rest, how are you going to do? Do long division, right? Okay, some students like to do comparing coefficient, but I like to do long division. Up to you. There's few ways of doing it as long as your method to do is logical. So this is a typical example whereby, remember just now I said when there's a missing term, you need to put +0. So I have to put +0 A squared minus 7A plus 6. And then I have to divide it by A minus 1. So this I will multiply by A squared. I get A cubed minus A squared minus, put bracket, 0, see, 0 minus A squared means plus A squared. So this is A squared. This one bring down minus 7A. So what times A give me A squared? Plus A. So this will be A squared. This will be minus A, minus 7 plus 1. So it's minus 6A. This one bring it down, so it becomes plus 6. Then this you have to multiply it by minus 6. So minus 6A plus 6. And again, like I said, it must be 0. So come back to here, you say, oh, so my FA is simply equals to A minus 1 and A squared plus A minus 6. This one, And then of course, I don't have to do cross method already, because actually, you see, you already know what's the answer over here. Remember? So it will be A minus 1. These will be these two. So I know it will be A plus 3 and A minus 2. Then they ask you to find the possible values of A, right? Come back to here. So for this to be, so for FA equals to 0, I will know A minus 1 equals to 0, or A plus 3 equals to 0, or A minus 2 equals to 0. So I have A equals to 1, A equals to minus 3, and A equals to 2. Done. Okay, so actually the concept is still the same. In this question, it's tough. Why? Because there's a lot of funny alphabet inside. Okay, so this will be this question, too long. So you can try to snap 2 times, if you need to snap. Okay. All good. Any question?